Okay, here we are. Cairo Mafia. I got the Dom over there.
How you
Dude,
doing? How you
I
doing?
think
Hey.
I think you look more like Marlon Brando the older you get.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the older Marlon Brando, who was a little bit heavy, that guy, yeah, that's the one I look
Dude,
like.
if you guys haven't seen it, to go on YouTube and see his olive oil when you're doing the
Oh,
Marlon
no, The
Brando.
Godfather. That's a
Oh,
good
the
one.
Godfather. Oh my God, man. That is
I'll
freaking.
post it on the Facebook page.
I don't know anybody that could do Marlon Brando closer than you did Marlon Brando. I don't think it's possible.
Well, no
I
one
don't
called
care
me for a movie.
what
No movie.
impressionist it is, just the whole energy about you, man.
I'll tell you a quick funny story on that. Melody and I she was getting me all dressed up, so I put tux on, and I didn't shave that morning, so you don't get the mustache, the whole 9 yards. And so she's in the room. She's like, "Come on, we're gonna do it." I had paper towels. I soaked them in olive oil so they didn't stick. So I had paper towels on my face to get them all puffy. And I start doing it, and she starts laughing. I'm like, you can't keep laughing. So we're doing it again, and she laughs. It was like 3 or 4 times. I go, you got to leave the room. Because she's got the camera the whole day. You got to leave because I can't do it. You keep making me laugh. So it
That's
was
so
really
funny.
funny. Yeah,
It is hilarious.
it is funny.
Like I can't imagine
My dad
taping
was
it.
not one that liked a lot of my antics, but he really did like that one. I will tell you.
Yeah. And then I saw another one. I forget who you're with. You're at a chiropractic seminar doing Elvis.
Oh, with Danny Knowles, Mile High.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another great one, man.
that's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
Peanut butter, and a banana sandwich.
Yeah.
I I got adjustment on my atlas right here, and whoo, my hips started moving, Danny.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
We did William Wallace, and then the one that is, I
I didn't
literally
see
can't
William
watch it.
Wallace.
Huh?
I didn't see William Wallace.
Yeah, I did it because I would do the promo videos for the IFCO. I think Liam Schubel felt bad asking me to do it. I mean, jokingly, but yeah. So I did William Wallace dressed up as him. That came out good. It was fun. And then I did Carmen Miranda. That one's hysterical.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I
Cool,
haven't
man.
done one in a while, so
Yeah, they're awesome. So
fun
anyway,
stuff.
if you notice the background, pain game, no more pain game. And
Pain
the
game.
reason pain game, yeah, the reason I put one of the reasons I put that up was I was looking online, just Google, what are problems chiropractors have? What are the problems? It's not that what problems do they have, it's what problems do they see,
Yeah, good
right?
point. Good
Because
point.
that becomes a belief system. So it's interesting. Number one, competition. And the funny thing is, it wasn't as much competition with other chiropractors, which it is, but it's competition with physical therapists, massage therapists. It's the other musculoskeletal providers. Now, why would a problem with chiropractic be with other musculoskeletal providers? Because that's what you're teaching. It
Right.
doesn't mean that's your intent. So one of the things that I say is your PVA, patient visit average, is a result of the patient's impression of the doctor and team's communication. It doesn't mean that's your intention. You may want lifestyle, but what do a lot of management groups focus on? Well, Miss Jones, how's your back pain affecting your life?
Right.
Because then it's basic sales, right? You have an emotion, you associate it with a condition, and that's great for starting people. Well, I mean, I don't feel like a good mom, can't pick up my kids, whatever it is. When I moved to Wilmington, in North Carolina, I would have everybody come in, not everybody, but a bunch of people. Doc, my back hurts. I got to play golf. I got to win money off my buddies this Saturday. And it'd be like Tuesday or Wednesday, right? And so I'm like, look, okay, we'll help this immediately. And then we're going to show you how to be healthy or whatever. But what I did was I catered to their immediate need. And they would come back on Monday all stoked with a wallet full of cash. And on Tuesday, they were gone because I focused on what they wanted.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, people may sit here and think, well, you got to focus on what they want. They don't know what they want because they don't know how you can impact the health of their family and generations. That's really what they want.
Right.
Right? Pain is a normal part of life. So why is there competition? Why do people negotiate fees? Because you communicated a service to solve a problem, an immediate problem, and then you use patient education as hope that they're going to get it and stay for life and bring in their kids.
Right.
And so then hope becomes your strategy. Hey, I did it for 11 years, man. I did exactly what my coaches told me to do. 5 injuries in 5 minutes, la, 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 la. And the best that I could get out of that, now other people may get more, was a 40 PVA. So the higher your volume is, and with a PVA like that, I had to rebuild my practice just to maintain it. At that time, I was at 500 a week. Just to maintain it, I had to get 40 new patients a month just to stay the same.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And so once I figured out about changing belief systems, getting patients to agree that this is the healthcare lifestyle for them and their family, there's a very specific system. You do the same thing. And they actually agree to that. We doubled our PVA, and now it's like, shit, it was easy, man.
Right.
People
Right.
made their appointments. They were asking me to bring their kids in.
Correct.
Doc, do you think you can help my aunt? I'm sure everybody gets that, but are you getting it with 8 out of 10?
Correct.
Or are you getting it with 1 or 2 out of 10?
Yeah. Yeah. It starts, like we're talking about belief and paradigm, and then who your tribe is, right? Here's, an analogy that always strikes me is if you're a vegetarian, and right, let's say as a chiropractor, you're a vegetarian, but all your advertising is carnivore, and then everyone's coming in and you're like, geez, I got all these carnivores coming in. I'm over here serving, fruits and vegetables, but everybody's asking for meat. In the carnivore is the ache and pain. You got a guy bending over with lightning bolts coming out of his back, the typical chiropractic. Or do you suffer from any of these problems? You go through all this list. So it's all symptomatic disease, pain, problem. And then you're in the office going, geez, everyone, I got this pain-based practice. Like nobody's coming in for wellness care. So part of it is who are you marketing to? Who are you attracting? If I'm going to sell Rolexes, I'm not going to go in an area that's, got a socioeconomic challenge. So the same idea when I'm in practice, if I want to make practice easier from the beginning, like we're saying, your only competition is yourself. Number one. And number two, market to people who are more interested. If I got a bunch of people smoking cigarettes in line at McDonald's, probably not people who have a high value for health. But if I'm at, vitamin stores and I'm at health food stores and I'm at places where people are outside walking and hiking and connecting and exercise, I'm not saying those are the only people that need care. Everybody needs care. But if you're looking at actually bringing the masses, you got to start with people that are at least somewhat interested in what health is and how health equates to a better life. So I would start there. Then as you're building your practice, when those other people come in, you're not like, oh my God, I have to get this guy to sign in order to pay my electric bill. So I'm willing to jeopardize my principle, my value, my belief, just because I got to get this guy coming in. And, I'll take any insurance and I'll write any letter and I'll do anything I can in order to make it happen. And then, like you're saying, Fred, when those people do come in, my feeling is, and again, I say this because I guess at my age, I get frustrated at what I see in our profession, but I see programs out there that are, 90 days, you got, they're, without calling anyone out, you got Close Them, got companies called Close Them, and you got companies that are over there that, they do what they call a acute or pain symptomatic close. It's like, well, that's the problem. That's the challenge. We don't care where they are in their mindset. That we're going to meet them there, but we're going to lead them. Remember, you're a healthcare leader. So, like Fred's saying, if you're coming in, they don't know what they want. They say, I want my pain to go away. Everybody wants to live a long, healthy life. They don't realize the condition they're in was the result of 20, 30, 40, 50 years of damage and neglect, just like heart disease. You're not walking in with a heart disease thinking, hey, he's going to push on my upper cervical and I'm not going to have heart disease anymore, right? It's the culmination of 30 or 40 or 50 years of neglect. So they don't know that. So you're going to meet them where they're at, but you're going to lead them somewhere, and following the protocols that we teach you, guess what's going to happen? They're going to then choose the better decision, the better choice. And now what happened is what? You've allowed them to be in alignment with their own values and belief. Believe it or not, their value and belief is I want to live a long, healthy life and know my great grandkids. I don't want my grandkids to read about me in the obituary. So if they're all on that page, then they're all in alignment. You just have to reveal that with questioning, protocols, procedures. There's systems that we teach you to do that. And then once you do that, it's not 100%, but the majority of them are going to choose that path. And now I'm walking into an office with healthy people rather than sick people all day long.
Well, and when we take everything you're saying and talk about the way people advertise, in Elite, our mantra one of the many, right, thought process is if you have to advertise to get new patients, then you're missing your day one, because you should get immediate family right on day one. How? Talk about generational patterns. Health patterns and posture patterns are passing families.
Correct.
Day one, day two is immediate family. And then if you teach a workshop every week, in the first week, the workshop is for extended family. Now, when you do that, if you see that every person that walks in has 10 people around them that they can influence. So who are those 10 people? Like, I used to look at that and I would think, okay, if there's 10 spirits surrounding them, all I need is a name, and then I can find a way to get them in. Because once you connect that, those spirits turn into physical matter, So what is it? Giving them an invitation to the workshop? Is it bringing them into the next visit? Is what healthcare problems? One of the things that we have is at the end of each night, we call people in the community and answer questions regarding their health concerns. So we'll have a question about headaches, question about chiropractic. Like, those are all low commitment things. Scheduling for a new patient appointment, if you figure 20% of the population maybe are promoters. So the other 80% of and that's why 20% refer the 80%, right?
Right.
Because they can actually promote and be influential. But, I asked myself the question, how can I make the 80% act like the 20%? It's called 3 ways to refer, which are totally non-committal ways. Bring them to a workshop, man. What's the best type of patient? An educated referral.
Right. Pre-qualified. Exactly.
Yeah, the referral, and they sit through a workshop. You know what the pre-consultation is like? You don't have to give one. The next day, they just sat through one.
Exactly.
And then you show them their x-rays, they got cervical kyphosis, and they go, yep, I knew I was going to have that talk. So, if it's CBP type, right? Well, it's 2 rounds of corrective care. So that'd be 6 months. I got to go 6 months stabilization, right? Like, they already know. They told you what their plan is.
Exactly.
It's like, it doesn't get any easier. So the whole thing
wait, though, Coach Fred, I don't like to talk in front of people, and I don't like to stay late. Like, I have to stay late. I really, I've been there all day, working all day. I want to go home. I don't want to come in late at night because I'm, married with kids, and, so I don't like to talk, and I don't like to stay late, and I don't like to organize all that stuff. And
it's so funny because people say, well, my wife wants me home.
yeah.
And my answer is, well, if you gave a workshop and you had 8 people and they all paid you $4,000,
yeah,
your wife would be like, hell no, you're teaching a workshop tonight. You just made $30,000 in one night. Oh yeah. No, what are you doing home on Tuesday night?
Yeah. What I would do is I'd pull out my corporation formation documents, and I'd say, well, geez, it's interesting on the company, it says Dr. Joseph Borio. It doesn't have your name on it, so I'll do what I got to do. All right. I'm sorry. You thought I was asking your opinion about how late I was going to stay? I'm sorry. Let me start over. I'm staying late. No, I hear you.
You're Joe Jr. You're Junior, right?
I'm being a little wise guy.
You definitely got that from your dad.
I hear that. I don't even want to say I get it. I hear that. I hear, and I know you deal with that too, Fred. We're talking about competition, right? And there's a line that says, if you want to have what you don't have, or what somebody else has that you don't have, you got to be willing to do what they're willing to do, right? And the reality is, when you look at let's say I don't agree with it, but if you want to look at across the street and go, wow, that guy's a competitor. Let's just say that's where your head is. You're seeing it, like Fred said, you're seeing it. He's not really your competitor, but you see that. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? Like, I don't want to whisper, and again, I say it out of love, and I'm going to sound like a hard ass, but the idea that I've been doing events for 12 years at Chiropassion. Fred, you've been doing them longer. Have you ever missed an event?
No.
Right? You've been in relationships, you have children. Like, you look at all of those things. You don't think my kid's got a lacrosse game, a football game, but 3 times a year I tell my staff, look, or my team, my family, come with me to the event. We're going to be in Aruba. Come to us in Aruba. Hey, we're going to be in the Bahamas. We're going to be in the Bahamas. But you know what? You're going to miss a softball game once in a while. You're going to miss this. You're going to have some conflicts in scheduling, but that's because the best way that I find me as a man in a relationship is if my family is, and the responsibility that I have as a doctor in my office, I have the responsibility to the best that I can be. I have a responsibility to be the best provider that I can be. And if I'm going to be the best that I can be, I got to go to my events. I got to stay late. If I'm going to provide the best for my family and my community, I got to stay late to educate more people. And that means I'm going to miss some stuff. Doesn't mean you're going to miss everything in life. But, if not, you can't sit around and be comfortable and think, I'm going to make everything and I'm going to coach everything. I'm going to do everything and I'm never going to miss anything. You're going to miss everything. You're missing everything. By me being disciplined, by me missing some things, missing my kids' lacrosse game once in a while, missing a football game, missing a recital. Did I miss some of that? Absolutely. But I can tell you, by doing that, I've had more time and love and private time with my family than I've ever had, because it provided me a level of lifestyle and financial security that most chiropractors don't have. So I could go away to Italy for a few months out of the year and be with my kids the whole time, where some people are worried about missing a fucking softball game. I'm over there going, well, I'm willing to make the sacrifice so I could spend more time with my kids. So, your competitor is you. You're the competitor. That guy, that reflection in your
Your
mirror,
mindset is
that's
the
the
competitor.
person that's your competitor. You got to be better than that person. And if you keep looking at that person and coming up with fucking excuses, you know what? You're going to stay exactly where you are now. You're going to be bitter. You're going to get upset. You're going to get frustrated. Fred and I talk about, you looking for the shiny object. You're gonna coach jump. I'm jumping from this coach to, oh, this, I saw this thing on Instagram and he said to do that and she said to do that, and you know what? You're running all over the place. You're like a golfer looking for all these fucking gizmos to put on to try to swing the club better. No, it's the reflection in the mirror. Do the hard work, right? Do what's hard. It's
Master your
learning to do what's
skill.
hard. And guess what? Great shit's going to happen. If you're not willing to do that, listen, you're not wasting my time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. That's the end. So when you look at competitors, Fred and I are saying the guy across the street isn't your competitor, but I'll tell you, that reflection in the mirror, that's your competition.
Absolutely. And when you look at, okay, I remember when I opened up a clinic in Washington, there were, God, I forget. I think it was 5,000 or 3,000 chiropractors within a 5-mile radius,
Yeah.
360 degrees, but we were the busiest one. But,
Right.
so I have a personal story. I told my son this because when his mother passed away and I adopted him, his sister had a different father, and he was a general contractor, but Christian guy, home every night at 6, walked to church on Sunday. And so I told Chase, I go, look, you can go with, his name was Andy. I go, you can go with Andy and you're going to have somebody home at dinner every night at 6. If you go with me, I'm going to be home a lot for dinner. And that was our thing. We had to have dinner together every night that I was home. And, but I'd say, I'm not going to be home every night for dinner, but I will show you what purpose is, and I'll show you how to change the world. So who do you want to be with? And
Right.
he said with me. So, but now people that have a purpose, they're healthier. They live a more fulfilling life.
Absolutely.
They tend to be happier when things happen, a crisis in life. They don't stay down as long. People that don't know their purpose or aren't purpose driven, they tend to be sicker. They have a shorter lifespan. If a crisis happens in the world, they go into depression and they stay there longer. So in my opinion, I think there's no greater thing that you can teach your kid. One, about God; two, a loving family; three, about have a purpose that you strive for, that's going to get you out of bed every day, especially when you don't want to.
Exactly.
And so
And
getting back to the go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go. Go.
Well, getting back to the pain game, where well, I need to talk about why they came in. Okay, well, the mantra in Elite is we address their pain, but we don't focus on it. So
Correct.
right in the introduction, hey, from your patient application, I see here goes back pain. I'm gonna ask you a number of questions regarding that in a minute, but first let me explain what we do, right? And so then that's where they get spinal cord's a lifeline.
Correct.
Now they're
Correct.
getting the
Exactly.
principle, right? And we talk about subluxation, shutting down the energy, causing disease. And then the first question we ask in the consultation, where's your back hurt? Show me. So then we touch it. Why? So they know we understand. So now we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Correct.
And then we focus on overall health. We focus on lifestyle. We focus on changing beliefs. And then, it's so funny because then you pull out, you got 22 health problems.
Exactly.
By
And
the
you're
end
worried
of the
about your back right
consultation,
now.
like they forgot why they came in.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Unless you focus on it.
Right. Right. Well, here's the funny part. Why talk about their pain unless you live in some city or state that I'm familiar with? But I've never met a freaking patient that doesn't, all they want to do is talk about their fucking symptoms. So why do I want to talk about all they want to do is talk about them, right? Oh, my back hurts here, runs down my leg, goes down my neck, I got a headache. So they're already, so why do I need to fall into that? Hey, that's a concern, Fred. That concerns me that you are having that level of discomfort, because that obviously is a characteristic of subluxation. That's affecting that nerve, which certainly can contributing to that. But what's going to happen to the healing? And what really concerns me is that area also goes to your bowel, your bladder, and you have intestinal issues. I'll tell you, that's something we want to take a real close look at on the X-ray, so we can get a real clear understanding of exactly what nerves aren't able to communicate to the organs or to the body, and how that's jeopardizing your body's ability to heal. Like, you just take what they do and you just convert it into a concern, you convert it into subluxation, and you convert it into the other aspect of disease. And it is that, right? I mean, if I'm an orthopedic and you come in with arm pain and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on, Joe? It's fucking killing me here. It's running right down my arm into my pinky. I'm having trouble breathing. I feel like an elephant's on my chest. I think it's my shoulder. And the ortho says, well, I think it's your heart. You're like, you're in the middle of a heart attack, right?
Yeah.
So, well, it's going to often mimic the same symptomatology, but in reality, you're sick and diseased severely on the inside, not on the outside. So just remember, whatever you see somebody manifesting symptoms on the outside, really what's happening is there's something on the inside that's where they're sick. It's where they're sick on the inside that's causing the body to break down, get sick and diseased, that's leading to only symptomatology on the outside. Symptoms on the outside, sickness, diseases on the inside. You're looking to see
Absolutely.
whether
That's
sick or
brilliant
disease on
right
the
there.
inside.
One of the things that, CBP teaches, it's a biomechanics section where Don looked at, okay, like if you have a translation or lateral flexion or
Yes.
rotation, rotations are torsion stress on the cord. Lateral flexions are
Yes.
compression and traction.
Yes.
Translations are shearing stress. And they actually go through what cords are being affected. And when you actually learn this, you think, how the hell are we all alive?
Right.
Like the neurological impact, like
It's
the power of the human spirit,
unbelievable.
right? Yeah. So here's when you really understand if your spine, if the curves are out of alignment, and yes, segment 2, then injury to the spine is also injury to the cord.
Correct.
Because you got translation, you're shearing stress on the spinal cord.
Correct.
You see rotation, you have torsion stress on the spinal cord. And so let's take your example, right? Well, Doug, my back hurts and this and this and this. Well, what concerns me, that's a problem. One, you have injury in the spine. Problem is you got a spinal cord down the middle that's your lifeline, carrying energy.
Correct.
It keeps you healthy. So if you have an
Right.
injury to your spine, you got an injury to your spinal cord, to the nervous system. Now, people think, well, I'm not going to say that because they're not paralyzed. Well, then you haven't understood
You
the
don't understand
biomechanics.
neurology.
Yeah, yeah, it's just neurology, right?
Right.
So then you have injury to the cord, which means it's shutting down the energy to your organs. And then in our system, to change beliefs, I would say, well, you've had ulcerative colitis, or you had this, you had this. So you went to your MD and he's got you on drugs. Did he ever tell you that the foundation of health conditions is an energy problem? Did he tell you that energy problems will cause health conditions? So do so what it looks like to me is you have an injury to your spine, you got an energy problem because energy is healing.
Exactly.
Right? Now here's the thing, health problem, people go to doctors to solve problems. So I chose those words specifically. You have a health condition, but the
Yeah.
problem is an energy problem.
Right.
Because if it's a health problem, they can go to an MD, physical therapist, massage
Correct.
therapist, they can go to the gym and pay
Correct. Correct.
$27 a month. But who can help an energy problem but a chiropractor?
Correct.
Can't go to the MD and help an energy problem.
Correct. Don't put yourself, one of the things I always say, like if you're in a drugstore, there's an aisle, and in the aisle, there's a pain aisle. And what's in that pain aisle? Every fucking drug you can imagine, right? From brand names to the generic names to ibuprofen to Advil to naproxen to all of them, right? Momentum, all of those drugs, Tylenol, acetaminophen, they're all down there. So I'm down there if I hurt, and I'm like, geez, do I take this one? Do I take this one? Do I take this and this? Like, so I'm trying to solve the pain problem. Don't put yourself in the aisle. If I have an aisle that's like Fred saying, an energy, a subluxation problem, I don't have any. There's only one thing on the shelf, or chiropractic. That's
It's
it.
not
So
even in the
I look here
store.
at chiropractor.
Like,
I
you're in
look
the
over
wrong
here.
store.
Right, chiropractor. Oh my God, I'm down here is chiropractor. Over there's chiropractor. There's only a chiropractor that can solve that concern. So if I talk subluxation and translation and misalignment and nerve and energy and healing, there's no one else in my aisle. So that's why all you do is talk that. Let them talk symptoms all day long. I'm going to talk healing. I'm going to talk health. I'm going to talk subluxation. I'm going to talk energy. I'm going to talk the body's ability to communicate. And if I stay in that lane, I don't have competition. Where are they going to go?
Well, and they're
You
going to
can't
flock.
pull your
They're
teeth
going to flock
straight,
to you.
so you got to pull your vertebrae straight. So
Yeah. So then the question becomes, and I know this happened to you, why they came in is why they think in their head. Why they
correct.
really came in as a spiritual being is to get reconnected.
Totally.
Because they know in their heart, maybe not consciously, that they're subluxated, and if they get sick, they're not going to fulfill their God-given purpose. So we're working
Absolutely.
for God.
Absolutely.
And then, and that's where we address it, but we don't focus on it.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
what you said, when you focus on healing and energy, and then they realize, geez, where's the chiropractic aisle in CVS or Rite Aid or whatever?
Right.
And then they
Well, they're not going to
realize,
bring their fucking kid in if you're talking sciatica and you're doing Kemps and straight leg raise. Why are they going to bring their infant in? Because you're over here, let me do this. Let me check the reflex and let me do pinwheel and let me do Kemps and let me do all these orthopedic and let me just talk symptoms or orthopedic tests, when you're like, geez, nobody brings their kid in, because no one's going to bring their kid in, their healthy kid in, because you're over there focused on herniated disc and sciatica and low back pain. But when you talk health and healing and subluxation and energy,
from day
who
one,
needs that? Right. Everybody needs that. So in day one, they're thinking, well, shit, this thing started when I was, to Fred, talk to me about your birth. 93% of subluxation occur at the birth process through trauma. Your parents ever show, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Well, that concerns me. Were you checked years ago? No. Have you ever been to a chiropractor? Well, that concerns me. Most likely you've been out of alignment since you've been 40, 50 years, right? And then you have two kids at home. They've never been checked. Neither child is, man, that concerns me too. That's certainly a conversation you want to have. So by the time they're done with day one, guess what? They're like, not all of them, but many of them are like, Jesus, maybe I better get my kids in, or, I got to get my kids in, or I got to get my wife in. All of a sudden you
hey,
create a conversation.
let me interrupt you real quick there. Yeah. And you know this because you always ask questions. So when they say, gee, Dr. Joe, do you think I should bring my kid in? What do we automatically say? Well, absolutely, and la, 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 and you're pulling them in too hard.
Right.
What you'd say, if you really want to anchor, I go, well, based on what you just learned, what do you think? And they would go, absolutely. And that's why they'll go sign them up.
Right, exactly.
But if you try and yep, I think you should, and yep, what you want to do is keep your finger on the pulse of their mindset. Well, do you think I can do this?
Exactly.
Well, should I do that? Well, what do you think? Well, yeah. Okay, let's go sign them up in the end.
Exactly.
When they
You're
say
never
it,
going to
they're
have that
committed to it.
opportunity, and you're never going to have that conversation if you're talking about their fucking symptom.
I know.
Talk
You
about
know what's funny? I was coaching with a guy in California, Mark Himes, great, he's a good dude, but he had this sheet where they would monitor the subjective complaints, and he was using it for pain. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to use that and monitor the percent improvement on their organs. So every 30 days, we're looking at how's your blood pressure, how's your diabetes, how's your energy levels, and that's what we would continue to focus on, right?
Correct.
And so when I gave these people this thing, they would say, well, low back pain, a 3. And they'd been coming for a while, and this was before spinal correction was what it is now. And I would go, your back still hurts? Because we never talked about it.
Right.
And they go, yeah, it doesn't bother me, but doc, my energy's better. My allergies are better. Oh my God, I feel like a new person. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't know your back hurt because we never talked about it. And they go, Dr. Fred, it's okay. Don't worry about it, man. But man, shit, my digestion is better and I'm sleeping better. They literally, we never talked. I didn't even know that it bothered them. They're like, shit, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's okay. It'll get better. But look, man, doc, I have a new life.
Yes.
Because that's what we focused on.
Right. And the opposite more often is the truth, because their backache does go away, but they had 3 other health problems that they're gone too, right? Oh my God, not only geez, like you're saying, my prostate's working better, right? My uterus is working better, my energy's better, my digestion's better. And you know what? Geez, my back hasn't bothered me in months. Like, that's the majority of the conversation you're gonna have with these people, and you're changing lives all the time. But you just remember when you're sitting there by yourself and you're worried about the guy across the street, you're not doing enough. That's always been my attitude. You're not doing enough.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about what he's doing. Worry about what you're doing. Are you doing your script? Fred's got a script. I got scripts. Dude, study your scripts. Watch your videos.
Yeah, but talk about lifestyle.
Role play your shit. Like role play and study that. And that's what you should be doing. Anytime you're thinking about something else, start thinking of training on you. That'll solve your competition worry problem.
Yeah, master your skill. Absolutely. So one of the things that we have, if you go to elitecoachingllc.com, I'm sure you have a pre-consult, but the pre-consult sets the frame because it takes them from pain right into healing and energy and lifestyle right in the first 4 minutes. So if you go on Elite Coaching LLC, we give the pre-consultation for free. So just download it, man, get it down, use it. And if you just use parts of it, you'll see people. Yeah, you'll see people change right in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome. So anyway, I got to get running here soon. So, dude, thanks. That was awesome. Hey, we're going to bring more direct solutions to problems that you may have. So be faithful on these. We're in a new year and we can create more lifestyle patients. We can affect more generations and families this year than ever before. So hang with us, subscribe, and please share these. And let's get this message out there.
Let's rock and roll. We got a big event. Chiropractic got a big event in Bahamas. There's, I think we had 7 days left for the room block. So you want to come and do a transformation, whether by yourself or significant other. We're going to be at the Atlantis Cove for 3 days, 13, 14, and 15. It'll be life-changing. And we're going to be doing mastermind on the beach and have a lot of fun. So if you're looking to make this year your best, there's no better way to start off than Atlantis Cove. Improve your life, improve your practice.
Yeah, and I was a guest at one of those like 5 years ago, and it's truly life-changing. So, and we have our boot camps. We're coming up in Salt Lake here at the end of this month. It's our retention boot camp, how to get people past all time and money, and how to keep them for the rest of their life, get their family and their family tree. And we'll be having another series in June and August in Atlanta. And the faster you get involved with that, the faster you're going to see immediate growth, immediate lifestyle. So likewise for both of us.
Totally.
All right, brother. Love you.
Love and appreciate you, Fred. Hello to our tribe. Share, like, subscribe. Talk to you guys.
All right. Peace. Take care.